So let's talk today about time and manifestation, specifically about collapsing time. The important part about collapsing time is that in manifestation, we talk about states. The state that you want to get to in a manifestation is the end goal. It's what you think you don't have right now that's going to give you something, okay? Your linear mind wants to process it in a linear way. It wants to think, well, how do I get to that end state? There's so many sirens on today. That is not how it works. Because manifestation is a journey of your inner states. So I had a bunch of notes. I've tried to do this video several times and it just hasn't worked. What is manifesting is always your inner state. That's what's creating your reality. Your inner state is made up of subconscious beliefs, dominant vibration, and core identity. Okay. I'm not going to do a video on all of that today. When you collapse time, you essentially want, people will say, quantum jump to the end state. It's not entirely wrong if you know what quantum jumping actually is. But you must make the internal adjustments to your inner state, to your subconscious beliefs, which are your dominant thoughts and feelings, to your dominant vibration and frequency, to your core identity, to attract a different reality than the one you're living in now. And it's probably significantly different, right? So your linear mind wants to construct a plan that's like, I do X, Y, Z. The problem with that is that the plan is on the frequency of your core identity that does not have the thing you want. And that you're seeing yourself currently as the person that doesn't have the thing. That's why it's reflected in your reality. Your core identity is as somebody that is not living in the state congruent, in harmony, vibrating with what you want. You are actually seeing yourself as living outside of that state, wanting to get to that state. The other problem with it all is that you'll actually sabotage your own success in order to keep proving yourself right. So, to get into creator mode means you must not identify with the circumstances. Victims identify with the circumstances. Creators do not. Creators create circumstances. If you're identifying with losing, being a loser, not winning, not being a winner, not being able to do what you set out to do, that's your dominant vibration. You have to shift that. That means you have to let go of some of the identity you've had from the past that was probably very painful, which is why you're dragging it into the now. It's because the thoughts are the seed, but the feelings are the soil. The feelings are very, very important. The way that you feel about yourself will be reflected to you over and over again. So if you don't feel abundant, if you don't feel like a winner, if you don't feel responsible, able to handle the responsibilities that you most assuredly want, right? The end state will not come to you. So when we collapse time, we go from the beginning to the end, and the end state is available to you now. If you could shift your inner state to match it, you would have it. That means letting go of anything that doesn't identify with that end state, and being able to act in alignment with the person that is in that inner state of that thing you want. So all of this is so confusing because we really don't have the language yet, but we're making the language, right? We're getting the language. The more we talk about it, the more we work with our subtle feelings, the more the language appears. Time collapsing. So we can think of that time from now to the end as like a tunnel. And the collapsation happens like this, not like this. It happens like this. It compresses, right? Everything compresses to be here now. So let's imagine that you believe that this thing you want to build will take 10 years, and you want to jump to being that person now. So right now, you're taking on 10 more years of responsibility, 10 more years of learning how to act in alignment with something bigger than you've acted in alignment with before, and not sabotage that, right? You have to see yourself as super responsible, super grounded, super capable, super winning. Because that means to get there, you've won 10 years in a row, basically. Or you failed and then you won. But it's a giant shift in your identity. The fastest way to get there is to get out of your physical reality completely, as much as you can, to meditate, to go in your mind to the place you want to be, to embody yourself there. And then to detach yourself from your current reality and try to spend time in that reality, making it as familiar as possible, as much embodiment of the characteristics that you see yourself needing and having in that end state. Take them on to you. As much as you can do that, especially that time right when you wake up and that time right before you fall asleep. Of course, you're not that person yet. You're imagining that person. But in your imagination are all things. All things. The reality doesn't have it yet. Even your mind doesn't know it yet. But your imagination has it all. You can connect to all of it in your imagination. So try to do that as often as possible. Write it out. Read it. Make it your dominant vibration. That is the way you lead yourself to it. I hope that helps.